Thank you very much for coming in. Felicity, please. Hello.
Kia ora. I'm Felicity Price, and I'm speaking to you as the former chair of the Arts Centre of Christchurch, Te Matatiki Toiorora. I was a bit disappointed more of you couldn't come to the Arts Centre's public meeting last month. You would have heard from all the inclusive, multicultural creative groups that belong there, why they love being there. Disability Dancers Jolt, a great mix of Muslim, Māori, Pacifica, and Indian musicians and actors, and the university's music school that just loves being part of the inner city and, like all performers, raves about the acoustics in the Great Hall. You just have to go to the Arts Centre to fully appreciate how much of a thriving creative hub it is now. Just under 1 million people visited throughout 2023. Food Truck Alley is chocker, the weekend market is taking off, the place is humming with people of all ages and ethnicities. But reading the recent council staff report on the Arts Centre, I wondered if they'd actually been there. Criticisms that didn't quite check out, opportunities that are already being taken, and just no acknowledgement of the great vibe, the massive cultural activation, nor of the terrific job we did in restoring 20 Category 1 heritage buildings, stone by stone, one roof tile at a time, 1,000 pieces of stained glass painstakingly repaired and pieced back into the Great Hall Soldiers Memorial window. And as you know, each building on time and on budget. I'm really proud of what we achieved when I was chair, not just of the restoration, but of bringing life back into the site. And of course, I acknowledge we were standing on the shoulders of many who'd gone before, who carried out the incredible hard work to get it done, and who enthusiastically took out tenancies even before the site was fully open. As you know, I'm here to ask the council to grant the Arts Centre funding so it doesn't have to go out of business. Funding that ideally would be the same as now, 1.8 million a year, and a funding solution that will last beyond the 3-year local body election cycle, so we don't have to come to you cap in hand every 3 years. Times are tough, I know, and you have te kaha to fund for the next 2 years, so realistically, a little bit less might work, but only for 2 years, and providing it's made up for in subsequent years. It was a really worrying time after lockdown for me as chair and for the board and for staff. Tenants were struggling to stay afloat and we had to cut back on spending a lot. Financially astute trustees like accountants Mike Rondell and Mark Todd, brainy trustees like Rod Carr and Puameria Parataguru all helped us as we got out the paring knife and undertook a massive restructure. I acknowledge the bravery of staff as jobs were cut, salaries were cut, marketing budgets were slashed, and efficiencies were introduced everywhere. You're saying that the Arts Centre could be more efficient, and let's face it, every business can be more efficient. And if you can find more savings or opportunities, and visiting the Arts Centre to see what opportunities are actually happening, and while maintaining the vitality and cultural activation so it's within the Arts Centre Act, that's all for the good. It might be a good idea for Deloitte to work really closely with the Arts Centre this time, to visit weekdays and at weekends, and to look for more savings and new opportunities so you can be sure your funding isn't wasted. So please, find some funds somewhere to save this taonga, this jewel in the city's crown, this whole city block, humming with highly popular, unique yet cheaply run festivals and events. It's all go now, so please, let's keep it that way.
Okay, thank you, Felicity. I've got a question. Your submission asserts that the alternative to the trust is council ownership, but really, isn't it come down to the crux of the debate is the purpose of the Arts Centre and therefore its operating model and external income needs? Deloitte stated the current Arts Centre leadership presented a budget and waged a good political campaign on what it would like to do. I focus on what we have to do. So I'll come back to the duty of the Arts Centre leadership, quote, to develop and maintain a sustainable and financially viable organisation. if the current leadership team won't develop a sustainable operating model consistent with the Act, isn't it simpler a solution just to appoint some more different leaders, would you say?
I know that's your view, and you've stated that publicly in the press. I'm sorry you couldn't state it publicly to the trustees before going to the press, but I was a trustee. I was the chair when we made some very tough decisions.
You did.
And I think that if you think that a simple thing like finding new trustees is going to solve anything, it's not. The best trustees were there with me when we when we slashed as much as we could. But if you've got to find 1.2 million for insurance and another couple of 100,000 for rates, you're already behind the 8 ball. Nowhere else in New Zealand, and I suspect in the world, is an arts centre like ours that covers so much area like a whole city block, run without local or national government funding. It just can't be done. If you can take the insurance of 1.2 million off us, and we have asked you to do that, and if you can rebate the rates, and we have asked you to do that, then maybe it could be almost self-sustaining. But I don't think it will ever be fully self-sustaining, because running a whole block of 20 fully restored, open to the public heritage buildings has got a massive cost. It's a heritage site. It's not like a new build where things don't fall down for the next few years.
Fair comment. Okay, thank you very much. Good on you. Okay, so next we have Lee Robinson. Yes.